developments on the coup in Niger. Let's now bring in a former permanent representative of Nigeria to the UN, Ambassador Usman Sarki. He joins us from Abuja studio, and we're discussing all of the ECOWAS resolutions. Good to have you join us. All right, so what's your interpretation of the regional bodies' resolutions?
Thank you very much, Precious. Good evening. I'm happy to join you on the program today. The resolution or this decision of the heads of state and government, the authority of the heads of state and government ECOWAS, that transpired today actually is in the right direction, the right step in the right direction. It is a follow-up of the earlier decision of the Commission, of the authority, to present a set of demands to the military regime in Niger, in Niamey, to comply with within 7 days. And these 7 days passed on Sunday without a reasonable response received from the military junta in Niamey. The chairman of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, reconvened the Assembly of Heads of State and Government in accordance with the laid-down process and procedure of the Commission to deliberate on the issue, to receive reports from the service chiefs of ECOWAS and from the Political Peace and Security Commission of the ECOWAS Commission, and also to deliberate on the feedback received from special envoys that were sent to Niger, to Algeria, and Libya. So the constellation of these processes fed into the deliberation of our heads of state and government today. And the resultant outcome, or the result of the process, was the communique that was read out by the ECOWAS Commission, in which, I have to say, primacy of place was given to diplomatic process. Our president, in his opening welcome remark, reiterated the conditionality of pursuing the diplomatic path, engagement with the regime towards bringing about a change in their behavior, to accept the position of ECOWAS and comply with the demands that were sent to them on 30th of July. So,
Ambassador, if you just allow me comment, because I want to speak more on the role being played by the president. But let me just clarify that you're joining us via Zoom and not from our Abuja studio. Now, back to that role, being played by the president. We hear the conflict of opinions on the role he's playing, and that's vis-a-vis the ECOWAS protocol. Could he have acted differently?
No, there is no conflict at all. You remember he was elected chairman at the Guinea-Bissau summit on, I think, 9th or 10th of July. That had nothing to do with the situation in Niger, which occurred on the 26th of that month. So as chairman of the commission, he has every legal mandate provided by the statutes of the commission to act in a manner consistent with the interests of maintenance of peace and security in our region, under the purview of the ECOWAS Commission. Mr. President is not and did not act unilaterally in his capacity as the President of Nigeria. That should be made very clear. And the decision for him to act did not come from a conclave or 2 or 3 countries meeting. No, it was the entire ECOWAS member states who met at the summit level, that is to say, at the level of heads of state and government, to confer the authority, the mandate, and the prerogative upon Mr. President to act on behalf of the Commission in his capacity as chairman. So we have to look at this from the procedural aspect and be clear about it. It is not Nigeria engaged with the junta or the junta in Niamey. It is the totality of ECOWAS. We have to be very clear about that. Now, the other...
I was just going to say, thank you so much for clarifying that. But I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to us. Former permanent representative of Nigeria to the United Nations, Ambassador Usman Sarki. Well, let's turn to Plateau State, where suspected herder militia men have again struck the Barikin Ladi Haipan community, and this time killing 21 people in a midnight raid. Now, some selected communities in Plateau State, which include Mangu, Riyom, and Barikin Ladi council areas, have suffered a series of attacks and killings that have caused the deaths of about 700 people from April to date. A correspondent in Plateau State, Funam Joshua, was at the scene of the attack and now reports.
Residents here in Haipa community have again woken up to a sad experience, the gruesome murder of 21 members of the community by gunmen suspected to be herder militiamen.
5 members of one family were wiped out, along with 3 members of another family in this midnight attack. Locals in the area and community leaders told TVC News that there was intelligence that the attack will occur a few days ago.
It's quite unfortunate that this attack lasted for close to 30 minutes, but there wasn't any intervention until when vigilante members of this community tried to repel the attackers. They were facing the attackers, and all of a sudden the security came in.
I'm urging all the youths all over, please, that are listening to me. You have the right of living. You have the right of living. You have the right of living. Rise up for self-defense. Self-defense is the only solution for our survival.
The president of the Birom Youth Molders Association faults the security operatives for not taking proactive measures on the intelligence gathered to repel the attacks despite having knowledge of the situation.
It is very unbelievable and quite devastating. How did Colonel Abdusalam, MD Abdusalam, tackle the security situation in Barkiladi local government that they have never been coordinated attack for over 2 years? But upon the assumption of office by the present commander, Barkiladi has come to theater of attacks, pogrom, genocide, and all sorts of atrocities without anybody saying anything.